Hey guys, some stupid sketch show guy here with the third part of Collecta's new reveals, and this one is 100% about sea creatures, which means we are under the water and I'm drowning. Please help me. Now, with that terrible joke out of the way, let's talk about the two figures they revealed. The first one is the one that I'm less excited about, but I'm still pretty happy with, and that is their Shastasaurus, which is just a fancy word for, why do you think that's funny? What do you think it's...
The Shaftosaurus?
No, not Shaftosaurus, Shastasaurus.
Oh!
Shast,
like a chastity belt.
No, not chastity, chastity.
I see.
S-H-A-S-T-A Saurus. Shastasaurus. It's a fish, actually.
Of course.
So their Shastasaurus is actually a standard figure, which is a bit disappointing, and definitely the worst part about it, considering that Shastasaurus is, well, such a huge species of ichthyosaur, and the paint application has been done before and better with Safari Limited's Ichthyosaurus, which also is just a better executed figure because the scaling made more sense, as Ichthyosaurus is, well, a smaller species. But this Orca color scheme is still far from terrible. On its own, it's very well executed, and I always like a new Ichthyosaur figure, so why not have two different Orca Ichthyosaurs? I don't really see the issue in that. But if you ask me which one I would pick, I'm sticking with the Safari Ichthyosaurus. And now time for the second figure, which is a bit more of a famous sea critter, and also one that Collecta has done before to absolute success, but this time they're giving it the Deluxe treatment, which is pretty exciting to say the least, and that is their Collecta 140 scale Deluxe Mososaurus. Which, in comparison to their original Mosasaurus, there's surprisingly a lot in common, and that's not a bad thing. It just goes to show how good the original figure was, even down to the giant thick tail fluke, which is pretty impressive for a decade-old figure when other Mosasaurus figures from around the same time did not implement the fluke. So, great job on the original figure, but it's also nice to see a bigger version with an articulated jaw to boot. Now, I do prefer the paint job on the original Mosasaurus a bit more, but I don't really mind the gray one that much either. The gray sort of color scheme is very naturalistic, kind of reminded me a bit of a gray whale, which is pretty nice because, well, Mosasaurus is a pretty nice and big sea creature. So you know what, I don't mind that at all, and the nice, very subtle little black striping all around the back is a very nice touch. Very nice bit of shading there that really just polishes off the figure, and something about the mouth really looks almost cetacean to me. Something whale-like. It's just nice and thick, and how do I say that without sounding sexual? The face sculpt on the new Mosasaurus is definitely a bit meatier than the original skinny mouth on the original Collecta Mosasaurus, which I think is a nice improvement. It shows that this is a nice, big, healthy boy who's been eating plenty of sea creatures. It's overall an absolute success, although I would like to see someone try and repaint this in the original Collecta's colors. That'd be pretty cool. And that concludes it for this week's batch of Collecta figures. Next week, we will probably have the last batch of reveals, and what we have in store seems pretty exciting, as we already have the two species for next week revealed, and they will be Koolasuchus and Stegoros, which are both pretty exciting. Koolasuchus has appeared all the way back since Walking with Dinosaurs, but has yet to have an actual full-blown figure of it, so the fact that Collecta is finally giving Koolasuchus a figure is pretty cool. And for Stegoros, Stegoros is another example of a very recently discovered dinosaur species, like Ceratosaucops from the first reveal, that's already getting a figure, which is just amazing. And I mean, look at this creature. This thing deserves to have representation. That is a weird little bugger. Anyways, see you guys next week.